Hey,
There we go.
Hey, good evening, Martin County. Yeah, a little volume there. I love it.
There you go.
We welcome you to the MCBE Martin County Business Exchange Wednesday night show. This is John Campion, your co-host with world famous Frank Mezzapel, also known as Big Frank.
Oh yeah. Well,
Hey, Frank.
you're not the only big guy in the room. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
well, that is, I am like the minutia, and we have really
Big John.
always reminds me
Yes.
that I could be bigger, but I'm not. And we are fortunate if you listen to our show every week. We always have one of our members, and tonight we have we're really fortunate. I might butcher it the first time through, but I keep asking them, make sure I say it right. But we have Pascal Permis with us. Pascal. Yeah.
Pascal.
Thank you, Pascal.
No
And
worries.
He's towering over me. And he is the basically the owner of Prime Time Fitness.
Yeah.
That is correct.
And it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And he's making his
What
radio
a great
debut.
nickname too.
Yeah.
Right.
Say it.
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
I think I'll just call him Prime. Then I don't have to
That's it.
butcher his name.
I think that's excellent.
I mean, everyone else calls me that, so that's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
very cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said earlier before we went on air that he got that nickname in Little League.
That's right.
Baseball.
Because you were were you a first baseman?
No, I was in the outfield, right outfield.
Yeah, you covered the whole
Right
outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy has got a arm reach of so he could play right, center, and left almost at the same time. Except who wants to play right field, right? That was where they always stuck one of my sons. It's great.
Yeah.
So was it did you like playing baseball?
Yeah, I loved it. It was one of my first passions.
Yeah. It's a great, we love baseball.
Yeah.
And Frank and I, being from Michigan, every once in a while we get into a tirade about the Detroit Tigers or something else, but not tonight. They're just, it's almost over.
Yes, the pain will be over soon.
That's
And
right.
It'll be winter break.
So did you play
Yeah.
Little League for many years?
I played for about 4 years.
Oh, okay. That was my overachieving. I always figured when I look back that baseball was always my favorite sport. That's what I was best at. But you went to, you can give us a little bit of history
Yeah.
for our listeners, but I will tell you before we get real quick, he has this Primetime Fitness business that he runs, and he does consultation, fitness assessment, program design, and 10 training hours. And he's got a whole schedule of stuff that he does. And you primarily do it over at LA Fitness, correct? Is that where, or wherever you go, you'll go anywhere for it.
Yeah, I'll do it wherever. I mainly do it at LA Fitness, but I also go to people's homes, apartment complexes. Whoever's willing to go outside, I'll also be willing to help them work out outside. I have a lot of equipment that I carry around, and I also have a great imagination for most of my workouts. So,
Very
So
good.
you can work with all kinds of people, even somebody who's like a mess like me, right?
yeah.
Yeah. No
mean,
problem.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
I'm a simulator special, Frank. But so you're from Port St. Lucie, I understand. Is that correct? Or
Indian Town.
Indiantown?
Yes.
All right.
All right. I was
And-
just out there last week.
And this morning during breakfast, didn't you mention you also worked with Planet Fitness too, or you still do, or you had a relationship with them at one time, right?
Yes, I worked at Planet Fitness. Like, I would just bring people
Mhm.
on the side to work out with them over there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because I generally work out over there when I get a few moments. I'll go over there.
Well, it's very reasonable for us guys who got to watch
Yeah.
our, dineros, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
good. They have specials for old people over there, Prime. So,
They do.
so give us a little bit of background, and then, we'll talk about your business some here. You had some cool things that you were telling us this morning.
Oh, yes, my background is I went to school up in Southfork High School. I played basketball for about 3 years over there. While I was over there, I have the school record over there for blocks and as well as field goal percentage, with 150 blocks for a career and 60% for field goal percentage.
Nice.
And did you have to jump to block those, or did you just do it because you're so naturally long?
A little bit of both.
No, that's pretty cool. I mean, what an intimidation factor
Wow.
to have on your team.
Right.
Right on. So, and then when you were at South Fork, would you play varsity for?
I played varsity for 2 years. My first year, I played JV because that was the first year I ever played basketball.
Okay. Wow.
So it took me a while to learn the game for a little bit.
Well, it's not, it's not that easy.
Well, there's a lot of running involved too, and a lot of people don't realize. I mean, you are really doing track miles. If you add it all up, there's a lot of distance you're covering.
A lot of intensity.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
do
The
it
whole time.
right quick and fast.
right quick, not like cheap, fast, and good, because you can only have two of those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's okay. So, it's kind of funny when you see, and I think it's only fair, for all the people out there who are kind of wondering, going, well, what's the deal with this guy? What makes him so special? Well, he's a little short dude of about 6'8", right?
Yeah.
And when I see him come into our meetings and I see him duck through the front door coming in, I'm like, oh, it's Prime. Okay, yeah, here he is. But first of all, it's great to have you in our group.
Thank you. I
And,
appreciate it.
Yeah, keep us all fit.
Yeah, and that youthful,
Mm-hmm.
keeping my youthful figure.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it was great. I got weighed at the doctor today. I was pleasantly pleased, even with my Darth Vader boot. So
Very
it's all
good.
good. All right. So you didn't start playing basketball till 10th grade.
10th grade.
And so prior to that, you always liked sports.
Mm-hmm.
And so your primary, what else were you? You did Little League for like 4 years.
Yeah, and I also played some Pop Warner football for like
Okay.
two and a half years.
What'd you think of football?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It's like my second passion.
Yeah.
It's basketball. It's basketball 1A, football 1B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at football as being just brutal on the body?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That's ultimately why I couldn't do it. I could never do it.
Yeah.
no, it's crazy.
So what position did you play in football?
I played DN at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, they probably couldn't,
Right.
defensive end. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just reaching around and reaching over the guy and then tackling the guy and just pulling him down.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
and that was Pop Warner, but you didn't play South Fork football, right?
I did not.
Hey.
I decided just to focus on basketball at that
Well,
point.
it's smart. It's hard enough to keep your knees and feet right.
Right.
Back in the day when Frank and I played basketball, we've talked about it many times. The Chuck Taylor Converse,
Oh yeah, Converse
which,
shoes,
as you know, have a lot of support for the ankles.
Terrible
Yeah.
for you.
So that's why that's why we don't do these things anymore.
Yes, exactly.
But
Yeah.
No one could do these things that long playing in those shoes.
so that's
Exactly
right. That's right.
Well
I see them
said.
people wearing them in a lady was in our business yesterday and she had some low top Chucks on. I go, hey, nice Chucks. She goes, Chucks. I go, yeah, Chuck Taylor's. You got Chuck Taylor's on. They're Chucks. Oh, I didn't know that. So
There you go.
styling.
She was just doing a fashion statement.
Yeah,
right?
she didn't know.
Didn't know.
It was under her, granny dress.
Oh.
Now, so then, and when you graduated from South Fork,
Hmm.
so you went off to school? Did you go to school?
Yes, I went to Trevecca Nazarene University. It's a Division II school in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wait a minute, Trevecca?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, I moved here from Nashville.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You've been around.
I've been around the world a
Yeah.
couple times. I
Just a
ran away
couple.
from the law there. You told me the year you were born. I was thinking, gee, I think I was only in jail once that, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding when I say that. But, so you were up and that was a 4-year school?
That was a
right?
4-year school.
Yeah. It's a small school, if I remember right.
It's very small, probably like 3,000 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you didn't play basketball up there.
I also played basketball up there for about 3.5 years.
Now, who would they play in basketball?
Outside conference game, they played Vanderbilt every once in a while, Lipscomb,
Lipscomb
Wow.
and Belmont.
Belmont. We always played Belmont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those guys, man, and Lipscomb and Belmont. What a history.
Yes, definitely.
What a
Good,
history.
good basketball school.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And Vandy's one of those places got the court
Yeah.
on the basketball court. The people, they sit at the end of the courts,
Yeah.
not on the side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
Yep.
See, I'm not lying, man. I'm telling you the truth. Okay.
I believe you.
No, it's great. No, I love Nashville. It's a great
Oh, it's a
place.
beautiful city.
Yeah. So where's that campus located? Can you give me a proximity? And I'm trying to, it's so small. I never knew where it was.
Murfreesboro Road.
Oh, yeah.
Near downtown.
Okay.
Downtown Nashville.
Okay.
Like 2 miles from downtown Nashville.
Yeah. That's well, I was only there 7. My brother's been there for 20 some, and actually he lives right down by Belmont and Vandy, right in between. What a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the good food and all those. Of course, you couldn't hang out at the bars. You were too young.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we wanted.
That's right.
So then you graduated, and I think if I remember right, then you came back home.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Before we get to the graduation, what position did you play up there?
I played in power forward up in Nashville.
Okay. Power forward. That makes sense.
So you weren't. Yeah. There was other guys taller than you on the team.
One other guy taller than me.
Yeah.
Actually, my best friend, one of my roommates, it's like 7 foot.
Okay.
Came from Serbia.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's cool. I'll tell you what. That's fantastic. So you guys. Oh, that's right. You guys said you won some. You guys did real good, if I remember right.
Yes. Freshman year and senior year, we did really well. Freshman year, we went to conference semifinals, and senior year, we actually won the conference title.
Nice.
So how many games are played in a season?
Normally I would say around 30, 31, 32.
If you get into the playoffs, if you make it that far, that's a lot of basketball. That's a lot of practice.
A lot of games.
That's a lot of getting up at. You guys have like 6 a.m. practices.
Oh yeah,
and stuff
for
like
sure.
That.
5 a.m. all that.
Oh yeah,
the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
Back when we were young.
Yes.
I got to do one thing. Quick shout out to Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Julio, Jen, and Ken.
And Ken, of course. Yes.
These are the people that let me come to work every day.
Yeah.
And if I don't give them a shout out, I don't do it all the time. But I just had to get that out of the way.
Great staff, good people.
Thank you. Anyways, so so is the coach at that school? Is he like still coaching there? Is one of those kind of guys, or are they moving around?
No, he finally retired about like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He stayed there. He stayed a while, like 25 seasons.
Yeah, it's quite a while.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That was the same thing going on, I think, with one of those. I think it was Lipscomb had a guy who was the coach there forever. And of course, it was Belmont who almost made it. They were trying to get into the big dance this year. I mean, they played in the NCAAs, and they're a small school.
Yeah.
Small school.
But they're always well coached.
Yeah. It was like, I lived in Richmond, Virginia. And back when I was in Richmond, they beat Indiana in the opening of the tournament. That's me, Frank. Sorry.
That's all right.
It sounds like it's a timer telling us we got to get up and go eat our
something.
maple.
Time to take your 5:30 medication.
That was our car man.
Our car man?
Yeah.
Todd.
Todd, Crown Car Care.
How's Todd doing?
He's probably, hey, Todd, if you're listening, you got to call
220-9788.
That's right. 220-9788, by the way, for anybody who wants to call and talk to Prime here.
Yeah.
And,
ask your questions. But
that's right. We're not giving away free bottles of wine or anything tonight.
Operators are standing by and they look a lot like me.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. So, okay. So, you got done up there and you decided to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been back down here since
2015.
Okay. And then you've been doing your primetime fitness thing for, what did you say, 3 years?
2
years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Building. And I got to tell you, we got a few people in our business group who Pascal takes care of.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of good things to say. Oh, who could this be?
WSTU.
I think we're being verbally abused.
Sounds like a plan. Stand by. All right. So we do have Todd on the line. Go ahead, Todd.
Well, hello. I just wanted to call into the radio station and ask a question of Pascal.
Okay, go ahead.
Fire away.
I wanted to know, with training, how important is the core, building your core in not only sports, but just in everyday life?
The core is the essential muscles you got to work. It's the base of everything. You can't do anything without a stable core. Sure, you can be strong, sure, you can be strong in all other areas of your muscle, but if you don't have a strong core, you can be easily pushed, you can be easily moved. And
So it's kind of like the root of your body. It's like the inner part of your center section, right?
yes, it's the base, it's the foundation.
Yeah.
And what are some exercises that someone could do to strengthen that?
Well, when dealing with core, it's more than just your actual abs. So you can start off with basic core exercises such as planks, but squats would also be a good one because it deals with glutes.
Yeah.
A lot of compound movements such as shoulder presses.
All right.
So you have to have good shoulders.
Yeah.
You have to be able to squat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have
Deadlifts is another good one.
Deadlifts.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have something that doesn't
Now,
require
for our
me to?
listeners that are uninitiated, a deadlift does not require the use of dead people, right?
Yeah, but I would be dead. It's like call 911. I mean, already my knees have blown out. My shoulders are total. I have no cartilage left.
all right.
I have nothing in my shoulders.
Hmm.
I'm kind of. Am I?
You're a work in progress.
I could ride a bike maybe with one foot.
Yeah, with one foot.
What else, Todd? Those are good questions.
All right. So what does a deadlift mean, though?
Yeah, what is a deadlift? I heard that brought up, and I don't know what that is.
Deadlift is just mainly when you have weights on a barbell and you're picking it up from the ground using your hips through your heels.
Okay.
All right.
I have one more final question, if you have time.
All right.
Yes.
Sure.
I've heard that in basketball, a lot of the NBA players, they use this specialized machine called a Vertimax. I was wondering what a Vertimax is, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners don't know either. What is a Vertimax, and what exactly does it do, and how does it work?
Yes, Vertimax is just a machine that puts you have a belt and you have a band attached to it, and it adds resistance through the band, and while you're jumping, it's providing tension at all times throughout the movement.
All right.
And does it really work?
Yes, yes. For me personally, I definitely believe it works because it's like anything else. It's like wearing a weighted vest.
So it gives you resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's like they're like giant rubber bands, is what I'm gathering.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And they're expensive too, aren't they? Those machines.
They're very expensive.
That's what I thought.
What's expensive?
If you have access to one,
I guess you can say
consider
that.
yourself lucky and privileged to be able to use it.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never even heard of it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to find at most, gyms? I mean, is that a specialized
No,
thing?
that's
'Cause
definitely a specialized equipment.
Mr. Harris was saying that the basketball pros have it. So
Oh, I got it.
It's mainly
Is
you'll
there
see it in private
anybody
sectors.
here in Martin County that has it?
In Martin County, I don't believe so. No.
Wow. Really? All right.
well,
Okay.
All right.
all right.
Well,
No.
thank you. Thank you very much.
No
You've
problem.
been of great help. I'm
course.
gonna work on my core.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very
Man.
good. Hey, and thank Max for us. He gave us a great demonstration this morning.
Oh, it was fun, wasn't it?
It was amazing. I just really was so impressed with that.
Yeah. I was talking on the phone with Max a little bit ago, and he had asked me, Daddy, you're going to be on the radio today. And I said, no, the other guy's going to be on. He goes, oh, you mean John? I'm like, huh? How do you know this stuff? So Johnny knew who you were.
Well, that's
Nice.
great. That's
That's
great. I
great.
know because every time I talk to him, he looks at me like I got two heads. So tell him I appreciate him using my name and not in vain. That's great.
Look at everybody like that way.
Super.
All right.
Well, guys, a great show, and take on the world. So,
All right.
Okay.
great.
Thanks.
Good night now.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye.
All right.
That was Todd Harris, one of
Yes.
our excellent members.
Yes.
This is the Martin County Business Exchange show,
Mhm.
and John Campion co-host with Frank Mezzapel. Big Frank, he was world famous when we started. But he's Big Frank, and of course, our guest today is Pascal.
Right.
Pascal.
Pascal.
I just
Prime. Just stick
I
with
know.
Prime. You got
Prime.
it.
Well, I
There you
want to be
go.
respectful
But,
to the young man.
And
From-
just another
No, you're
side
fine.
note for our listeners that they can hear more of Todd on Mondays at 5, the Crown Car Care Show. And that is thoroughly informative and entertaining. It is a great show.
He's
Todd,
like the click and the clack
he's
for
got
the
click-
21st
he's got
century.
click
right?
and clack beat.
Yeah,
He really
he's
he's
amazing.
got his stuff together when it comes to automotive news.
Well, we
But
appreciate
yes.
Todd calling in,
Yep.
and you can't get enough of Todd. You
No.
think you can, but
No,
you
you
can't
can't, no.
because he's not going to go away.
He's like the Energizer Bunny,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Pretty
Yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
pretty amazing dude. So, yeah. Actually, Todd Harris from Crown Car Care, his son Max is training with Prime,
Yes.
and he's
One of my first, younger
younger
kids.
guys.
Younger guys.
Yeah, what's he? He's like in what, 8th grade, 6th, 7th grade?
7th grade.
He's
Seventh.
grade.
okay.
All right. So I did a little bit of coaching of Little League baseball pitchers, and when I was in my 20s, right? And how thoroughly rewarding it was to me. I would see these kids come into the league is just, not knowing how to throw a baseball and turning them into really good, stable pitchers that they could feel comfortable with what they're doing. By the end of the season, for me, that was more gratification.
One of the best feelings in the world.
I'm telling you.
When the kids learn from you.
Yes.
Yeah. Transforming it in a game.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's
giving them the knowledge and they just running with it.
Yeah.
It's
no,
amazing.
It is
Right.
pretty cool.
I
that's
could
fun.
really, I know when you train people, I get how jazzed you can get
Oh my.
from that. Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, are you marketing yourself to some young kids too? I mean, is this, you've gotten pretty spoiled with Max. I mean, you got a really pro, a dad who really believes in his son, and he's laying out the best thing for him in his kid. It's great to see.
Yes, I'm actually transitioning more to like younger kids. I want to get more younger kids involved. I'd like to train them at an earlier age. That way, by the time most of them get to high school, have that foundation set in stone where they can kill their high school career and hopefully go to college.
This is a good segue, because it seems to me, back in the day when we would play like 2 or 3 sports in high school, now it seems like, or in, as you're coming up, that people are just doing single sport focus. Do you see that, or is there still, the way you look at it, whether it's a 12-year-old kid up to kids going through high school, you got the guys who play football, and then the basketball starts, and then they're on the basketball team. But it seems to me like, if you're a really good tennis player, you're going to end up focusing on tennis or golf or whatever.
I think it's still split. I still think most kids are still doing multiple sports, but I think for this area specifically, a lot of kids in this area are specific based for the sports
because of the year-round baseball, tennis, golf, especially. My God, the golfers in Florida are. You play golf?
I've tried it a couple of times.
Yeah, I've tried it. That's a tough sport.
It is.
Oh,
yeah,
crazy. Short games, everything in that sport.
Yeah,
no, it
exactly
is.
Right. Drive for show and putt for dough.
Well, actually, the real truth about golf is a sport in which the ball lies poorly, but the player well.
I don't understand that one.
Okay, well, let's say you finished the hole, and I said, "Hey, Prime, what'd you have?" You go, "Oh, I had a 5."
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking, well, the son of a gun, he went out of bounds twice, and he 3-putted, and he had at least an 8.
Right.
So the players lie good.
Yeah.
Did you find your ball? Yeah, it's right here. It just fell out of the hole in my pocket.
Yeah,
like right out.
Gotcha.
Anyways, that's okay. I've got a lot of this stuff.
A little lie humor there. Yeah.
Yeah. Being an oldster.
So we've got. I found in our 360, which is our little device that we play recorded pieces in there. I found some basketball stuff.
It's time for live high school basketball action. Join us now as we bring you the best from high school.
How cool is that?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, we're going to take our regulation timeout, and we'll be right back in a moment.
Fantastic.
All right.
We'll see you in a couple seconds. Thanks, Frank.
It's time for live high school basketball.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go. This show debuted on this date in 1965 on NBC.
Isn't this I Dream of Jeannie?
You got it.
Yeah, you
All
knew
right.
that too, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. All right. I've got one more for you. All right.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
Here we go. This show debuted also on this date in 1965.
Man, that sounds familiar.
What do you think?
I know that one.
And loving it. Get Smart.
Get Smart.
Yes. There you go.
That's
John
great.
Adams.
That's great.
All right.
Hey, Chief.
Yes.
That was a fun show. Did you ever see that show?
Get
Brian?
Smart? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
I saw the first one, but not that.
There actually is a movie that you could with I'm trying to think of-
Don.
no, not
Not Don. That was with Carol.
the guy that did the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Carol.
Steve
Steve Carell.
Steve
Steve
Carell.
Carell.
Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And yes, that he does a pretty good job.
He did.
He's
He
right.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a unique show
Right.
with
The
had
Office.
Barbara Feldon.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
hey, Chief, you
That's
know,
right.
as the guy with the bald
Remember
head.
Jaime,
Oh my
the android.
gosh. Yes,
Oh, okay.
that's crazy.
He was,
Wow.
that's great.
Yeah, I've
All
seen
right.
a lot of shows.
There you go. So now back to sports.
That's it. Only 100 years.
All right. That's to let our listeners know this is also a sports channel, right?
So so tell me, Prime, are you a NFL guy or a college guy on the football or both?
Ooh, yeah, I would have to say both.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
College sports play with much more passion, I think, than professional sports. Don't
Oh,
you agree?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You can see it on the court and in the field, and it's just the intensity is just so much.
Because they're all trying to get to the next level.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's what
That's
it
right.
is.
And then they
That's
they
true,
really get paid.
yeah.
I mean, look at Antonio Brown. Yeah, this,
Yeah, look at them.
yeah, look at him. That's all you want to do. Look and change the channel, right? Yeah, that's terrible. So, Prime, let's talk about your what you do.
Okay.
I mean, I looked at this today and I said those are really very reasonable rates that you charge.
Okay.
So, why don't you just give us an idea of what, whether you're one people or you're a couple or your kids, what you generally,
Yeah. What do you do?
How do you-
How do you whip us into shape?
Yeah, for one person, I normally charge around.
it's an open book test.
Yeah, there you go.
I normally charge around $50 for 1 hour,
Okay.
and that goes with a full assessment the first time,
Yeah.
as well as a nutrition guide on stuff they should eat.
Mhm.
I also give them different stretches that they should be doing, as well as foam rolling. I give them advice on how to get more flexible and more mobile.
Right.
Mm.
Now, did you teach Breckville how to do the push-ups on top of basketballs? Where did he get that idea?
I think he dreamt it up.
Yeah, it literally popped out of my head.
Yeah. You gave him that idea, huh?
I gave him that idea. It's just different stuff that I work on with him.
And
I know he can handle it.
right. So why that activity, and what does that do differently than just doing push-ups on the floor? Because it changes your elevation, right?
The elevation of it, and it forces you to use muscles that you don't normally do in doing a normal push-ups. There's other stabilizing muscles
Mm-hmm.
within your triceps as well as your pecs that you're working when you have that unstable base.
So if you can
Yeah.
picture Mark Breckbill
Right.
having a basketball under each hand, he did 5 push-ups
More than I lost
or
count.
whatever. I was getting ready. I was starting to dial 911 on
Yeah.
my cell phone. 'Cause I thought he was going to need a little
Right.
oxygen or
Right.
No, he could have done more.
Really?
If I made him done more, yeah.
he's a surprising, scrappy young man.
Yeah. Also a baseball player back in the
Yes,
day.
yes, he was. He said he never got thrown out stealing.
No.
Yeah.
They just put him in jail.
Yeah. But I'm sorry.
So, but anyways, and so anybody who wants to, one of the things we got to put out there is we need to put your phone number out here for people if they want to call you.
Right.
Right.
on the Prime line.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Call the Prime line.
Prime time line.
Give us your Prime Time phone line.
Yes, it's 772
Yeah.
266 3213.
Okay.
266-3213.
213.
So if you're 32 and your kid's 13,
you got it.
you're perfect.
3213.
That's right. That's right.
Nice.
And so you are looking for, I mean, you know, I can't.
I'm looking for anybody that wants to be fit in general health and
improve their game.
improve their game.
Yeah. Yeah.
General health, anyone that wants to be healthy, and as any athlete that wants to improve their game, take it to the next level, get faster, stronger, want to jump higher.
So, yeah. So
how do you make people jump higher? Is that just leg strength?
I mean,
where does that come from? That comes from your core, right?
It comes from a combination.
Yeah.
I think core, legs,
Yeah.
Even shoulders, all that. Yeah.
Wow.
Different muscles in your arms, all that. They're all involved in jumping higher.
Now you said you've been dunking the ball since 8th grade.
Yes.
Well, how tall were you in 8th grade?
I was 6 foot in 8th grade.
6 foot.
Yes.
But you got the spring.
Yes.
That's good. And now you really don't have to jump to dunk it, right? You just kind
No.
of. I've dunked once in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a long time ago. Long time ago.
Nice. No, I can't even see the bottom of the net.
No. So
Yeah.
I was
it's definitely a blessing for sure.
had you got to rely on. I had to rely on D. I
Yeah.
was no good at anything else. But
I mean,
so-
that's also important too.
it
Yeah,
is.
You
It is.
bet. It's a good big part of the game.
Big
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
No, I
It's very underrated.
I totally agree with you. So, have you been approached by any not junior varsity, but let's say 8th grade coaches? I mean, what are they doing in the
Middle schools?
yeah, is it they basically are playing in just a regular league? Are they playing against each other? I don't know what goes on
Right
these
now,
days.
it's nobody's in real season, so everyone's just doing open gyms.
Right. But when school is in, like when basketball season comes, are the middle schools, they playing each other? I mean, I don't know how that works because a lot of how they cut out a lot of sports at places.
Yeah, the middle schools are still playing each other.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was always a challenge.
Yeah.
Catholic school, middle school back in the day in
Right.
Chicago.
Ooh.
Mhm. I remember playing on regular tile floors because we'd
Oh
be
my-
in the cafeteria.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I
That'll
abused.
tear up your knees.
I think
Oh, my
I
Lord.
think I know why I'm got one wheel left.
Oh, man, oh man.
Yeah. Well, we both of us
Yep.
have always played a lot of sports,
Mhm.
and may not look like it, but those were fun times.
I mean, sports is the number one thing. You can't go by looks.
No.
that's right.
You can never go by looks in sports.
right. That's right.
Yeah. And the whole
Nope.
idea is to get out, have a good time, enjoy the sport, do what you can do, and do it to your very best. You don't have to be a pro athlete to be good
No,
at the
that's-
sport.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, the percentage of people go pro anyways is nothing.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
You think of how many people are amateur athletes and playing I really missed. I remember when I had to quit playing church league basketball, and I went from hardball to softball, which was very hard to do. I'd rather hit a 70 mile an hour pitch than one of those loopy little softball bats things. You ever play softball?
Nah, never played softball.
That
That's
is so hard.
It is hard.
I tried out for Griff's team, and boy, this
Softball's harder than baseball.
It is because the ball comes in at a different angle.
Yeah,
the
you're just not
fast
used to that.
I'm
the underhand angle.
Yeah, the fast pitch hardball, I can hit that.
Right.
But the steep angle,
Yeah, I guess
and
that makes sense.
oh,
Pop it
man.
up or hit the grounders.
Oh, it's just-
Because you can see the ball coming out of their hand with baseball,
right?
which is
Yeah.
harder. You can cover it better in softball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm cross dominant too, so I'm right-handed but left-eyed. So that gives you a little bit of an edge because you see that baseball just a little bit quicker with your left eye.
So you are a dominant left eye. You know which eye is your dominant one?
I don't actually.
That's kind of a neat thing to know in sports.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's my left one too.
Yeah.
I still can't putt, but it doesn't matter. That's another. I'm sorry. Those golf jokes are throwing you off, dude. Wow. We're ready for that other break, eh, Frank?
We are indeed. And when we come back, we got our news minute we want to read to
Oh,
you.
yeah, sure. So this is the MCBE Wednesday show, and it's Frank and John co-host, and Prime Time is our guest. So we'll be right back.
Absolutely. And give Prime a call. At his number again is 772-266-3213. All right. And we'll be right back. So stick with us.
Thanks.
Hey man, who's that cat coming down the street?
I don't know, but it sounds to me like that.
Hey man, who's that cat coming down the street?
I don't know, but it sounds to me like that gifted man with the bone.
Sure having himself a ball.
All right. Oh, basketball music for you.
Yeah, I was pretty sad when Curly O'Neal died. What was that, about 4 or 5 years ago? But one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
There was a lookalike team called the Nationals or something like that.
That's who they always played.
Oh yeah, but there was but I guess they also did a tour when they so they give you the Globetrotter feel.
Okay,
and so that was kind of neat. And they came to our local high school there in Michigan.
Yeah, that was always fun. Yeah, that was always. They were making the circuit.
It was marvelous, and they played against this teaching staff.
They went from Detroit all the way over to the other side of over to Lake Michigan, over where I grew up.
So cool.
That's great.
Cool. Had a great time with that.
It was good stuff.
Yes,
fond memories.
Yes.
So, is this? Do you want me to take care of this?
Let's do our little news minute here, and
why don't you give us a segue into this, and I'll be happy to read it.
Sure. Okay. The segue is this news minute is brought to you by Barbara Cloudis, who is the editor from the Martin County Currents. Take it away.
So, on the governor's agenda for September 26 is a petition to consider a request by a major developer to allow the creation of an independent community development district in western Martin County. The controversial 2,700-acre Harmony Ranch project, which stretches from Canner Highway to south of Bridge Road along Pratt Whitney and east to the Turnpike, is seeking to form its own governing body to build its own infrastructure and levy taxes of their residents. Zoned for agriculture, it would still be required to follow Martin County's comp plan, limiting allowable homes to 1 per 20 acres. Opponents contend that a community development district would open the door to a more intense development and collected more than 2,000 signatures to oppose the project. Currently, Harmony Ranch filed a lawsuit in Martin County alleging that the county changed the comp plan in 2013 with specific provisions that undermined the ability of the Harmony Ranch owners to develop their property fully under previous comp plan rules. Therefore, if the county will not allow development, it should declare eminent domain and purchase it according to court records. The county contends that the DeVosta family knew when they purchased the property in the early 90s that it was zoned agriculture, limiting its development. This minute is brought to you to our WSTU 1450 radio audience by Martin County Currents, your alternative source of local news, and that's Barbara's newspaper.
Yes. Thank you
So,
very much.
there you go.
Yes. Appreciate that very much. It brings our listeners up to speed, as it were.
As that's kind of hitting the controversy again. So it's been out on and off a few times.
Yep. If it's in the news, we let you know.
Report it.
Yes.
Yep. This is WSTU 1450, the flagship station of Martin County.
Martin County's Heritage Station.
There you go.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Uh-huh.
So let's go back to Prime here, and let's discuss, for you, my question is, we talked earlier how rewarding it is to see the growth in young people.
Right.
Seeing older people. I mean, I don't know what you must work with all ages, but there's some people are preserved better than others. Other people have taken care of themselves. And I just being able to pick the right things to do. You were talking about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you have to
Very
get
important.
part
of building your core.
I always thought about nutrition, but it's like that commercial that says, she goes, yeah, I was on a diet. I quit eating cheese and bread for one day.
For a day. Yeah.
Well, nutrition is 80% of the battle.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's where you get most of that's where you get the results, is 80.
So are
nutrition.
you, so yourself, is it a calorie? Is it is it the type of type of food you're eating? I mean, you're not like, you don't go home like me and pour a little bowl of Cheez-Its, do you? And,
No, I stay away from the junk food. Make
Yeah.
sure I drink water.
Yeah.
Always
Water.
making sure I'm getting enough sleep.
Yeah, sleep's important, man. And if you're getting at a young age, wait till you get to be old. If you can groove it in there. I can't tell you how many older people I talk to say they don't sleep at night.
Yeah.
That's
Probably not breathing properly. They maybe don't have the right pillow, or could be a lot of reasons.
Yeah, all those factors definitely
Temperature.
tie in.
Yeah.
so getting a good exercise. Typically people should work out at least 3 times a week. Is
At
that,
least 3 times a week.
and for about minimum of 30 minutes.
For at least 30 minutes. That's perfect.
Yeah,
High intensity, though.
Yeah.
Make yourself tired.
Yeah.
that would help. I guess it would help just to work out.
Right. So if you did 5 times a week and just maybe medium intensity, that'd be all right too,
Yeah,
right?
5, you got to let your,
Yes, but as long as-
that's true.
As long as you're getting out there and doing something,
Yeah. Now you're not you don't jog or anything. You run? Are you a run? Do you run?
No, I still sprint because I'm still capable of sprinting. So
Yeah. You see, they do. The parts do wear out, Frank.
Yes.
Yeah. I see people running. And of course, I married my physical therapist who I met 35 years ago. And, she won't do anything I can't be her patient because I'm married to her, but she is so good at getting over to where she goes 3 times a week and
Good.
just kind of keeping it moving. Because if you don't
that's all.
use it, you lose it.
Just stay active. That's the most important thing. Like anything else in life,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier if you just keep doing it.
So what are the
Do
food?
you have I'm sorry, but
No,
do you
go
have
ahead.
like a Q&A? Do you have like a sheet of if somebody's a new prospective client, do you have like a quiz sheet to ask them a bunch of key questions so you can figure out how you can build a program for them?
Yes, I do, but normally I've been doing it so long. I've just normally asked it off the top of my head.
Oh, all right. All right.
And you can
based
and you can-
by it, looking at them.
Mhm.
You can look at it and say, "Yeah, Mr. Campion, you've been hopping on this
need some-
Cheez-It trail
right?
again, huh? Well, they're only $1.49.
So how long did
Big
how long did it
lots.
take you to size up Breck Bill? That must have been he must have been a minute steak to figure out what to do for him, right?
Well, I pretty much just found out his injury history
Yeah.
and how active he used to how active he used to be,
Mm-hmm.
and we just went from there.
That's good.
And how often he sleeps and what he eats now and all that.
Mark, he's been pretty good at watching his. He's been up and
Yeah.
down, but
Yeah.
I remember, before I met him, I hear he was kind of a big dude. Sorry, Mark, are you up there? He's on the floor above us or so. But,
Yeah.
but right.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's, and he,
Well, we all pick on each other. but
well, that's part of the deal.
That's-
That's
Yeah,
why
of
we're
course.
all big family together.
That's
course.
required.
Now you got the young guy to straighten us all out.
Yeah. Whip us into shape.
So let me ask you this. Can I switch gears for a minute to our
Go right ahead.
group? So the Martin County Business Exchange. Okay, we got about 5 minutes left. What is it? What is it meant for you? I mean, is it different? Were you kind of going like, why should I do this? Is that where you're maybe, when you first came, you're going figuring it out, or did you feel like it was something you could take advantage of and use to your advantage?
No, I definitely think it's something I could use to my advantage. That's the main reason I wanted to be in the group. Everyone that's in the group's been doing business like for decades, so there's a lot of people I can learn from, and I'm just now starting, so I need as much knowledge as I can, and
That's good.
I just need to learn as much as I can. So this is one of the best groups to do it with.
Yeah, it's sort of like a mentoring group, isn't it? Yeah, it's true.
I'd take them under my wing, but you have to get up on 6 chairs to do that. No, that's cool. I mean, that's a great idea. It's amazing what when you hear some people talking about something going on, you go, wow, that's exactly what I was thinking. Or boy, that's really been helpful.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things I've found out.
Environment is everything to me. So it was a good environment. So
Good. Well, you're in with a good group. I'm not just saying that, I haven't been in it only about 12 years, but
It's a good
like yourself,
amount of
Frank,
time.
you've been in it 20 some years.
Yeah, a while.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you still got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I started with the same amount I don't have. Sorry. Yeah. But no. And then we make sure we are you now. Did I notice that you don't really, you already have had breakfast by the time you get over there? Are you a breakfast guy?
Not normally.
Yeah.
Normally.
Not normally.
Do you don't believe like that's the most important meal of the day?
Well, I do intermittent fasting, so I go like 16 hours
Really?
without eating, and then I have an 8-hour window where I just go to town.
Good.
Okay.
All
I
right.
never saw a pizza you didn't like.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe pasta. Pasta's bad for you, isn't it?
Right.
A lot of sugar in pasta, a lot of carbs.
So you got to avoid the sugar.
Yeah. No carb loading unless you're running track. Then maybe
Well,
carb
yeah,
loading's okay.
then you're burning it up.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've got about a minute or so
Mhm.
left. Let's give your phone number out again, Prime.
Yes, my phone number is 772-266-3213.
And I'm going to make the recommendation is give them a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give them a call. Everybody that has been using them in our group speaks highly of him.
Right.
He's so flexible on the things that he'll do to help you or someone in your family or
For
your
sure.
kids.
And he's creative. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's actually very approachable, and he actually laughed at a couple things I said. So,
Well, that's a
That's all
plus
right.
right there.
It's always important.
Yeah.
so we really appreciate you joining us here on the Martin County Business Exchange Wednesday night show. You can always go to our website, McBiz.us
Mhm.
or mcbe.org and check us out. And we'll talk to you next week. Have a great week, Martin County. Great weather coming up over after this weekend, I think.
Good.
Little drop in humidity, and
I'm always
so
up for that.
you're going to only sweat half as much as you would.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
Ready
All
for
right.
those workouts with Prime.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, Pascal.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
All
man.
right. Take care.
Everybody be good. Bye-bye. Thanks.